Hi there. So the next thing we're going to do is a thing called whole brain integration. So I'm going to be teaching you this with a view to rebooting and updating yourself. In other words, we've never necessarily brought ourselves up to date. And that means we have dynamics that are still in operation, our belief system, our interpretations, our perceptions, our therefore operating system may be exactly the same on specific issues or broadly. But let's take specific issues right now. So let's say you have an issue. I'm going to help you walk through that, to observe it through the view you had at the time, and potentially a new view or way of looking at it based upon what you know today, who you are today, and what the time is today, and how much time has gone between it originally occurring. Now, the other thing is we've never walked in another person's shoes. We are restricted by our own limited experiences and views, and therefore we may have become somewhat biased and inflexible. So whole brain integration is a way to see the same memories, but through potentially different lenses, and certainly through updated lenses. So bear with me as I take you through this exercise. I've done this many times with different clients, and I'm asking you to maybe observe it, but also, if you're willing to at this time, go through the exercise with me. So firstly, I'm sitting in this position, and I'm far enough away from the camera so you can see the positions I'm taking here. So usually when I sit cross-legged, I will put my left leg over my right leg. So I'm asking you to put whichever stance you would normally take, right over left or left over right, initially. That's the first thing to do. So because I put my left leg over my right, as you can see at the ankles there, if you take then your hands, and then I do the opposite. I put my right arm over my left, and I just draw it in and draw it down, okay? It can just be like so. So what has happened is I basically formed a figure eight, like DNA, double helix, forming in fact one cell for all the millions of cells that we do in fact have, because this is whole brain integration. We're expecting everything and hoping everything will be accommodated through all the cells rather than just one small part of us. In other words, it's both hemispheres of the brain that are going to be sharing the same information. So the stance is, whichever way you would put your legs normally, one over the other, and then you do the opposite with your hands. So for me, it was my left over right at the feet, at the ankles, and then it's my right over left, and then I just bring it down. You can turn it in if you wish, but most people, I just get them to relax it this way. And then I would ask you to sit in that position, and then identify the issue, and hopefully you've already done that anyway. You've identified a specific issue or memory that you're going to take a look at. And so I'm going to ask you then, once you've identified the particular issue, and it can be anything from any time in your life, observe it through the lens as it was then. In other words, close your eyes and just watch that issue unfold, or that thought that you have, or that belief that you have. So it can be a memory, it can be a belief, it can be an incident of any sort. Just observe it, if you would, and take a moment, and that can be maybe even a minute or two. So once you've done that, then I would ask that you relax for a moment, and then you do the exact opposite. You reverse your feet and you reverse your hands. So for me, for instance, it's now my right foot over the left, and now it's my left hand over the right. I go into this position, and then allow yourself, once you're in the reverse position, to now see the same incident, but putting your attention on what you know today. So you're looking at it through a present lens, with all your wisdom, knowledge, and experience as you know things to be today. And again, spend whatever time you need. You will know when you've come to some sort of closure or acceptance or understanding, maybe a minute or two at most. And once you've done that, just allow yourself to relax and notice how things are different. What are the differences between those two purviews? Looking at it as it seemed to be for you then, and looking at it from the point of view as to how you know it to be now. So please note those things, and you can do that on any amount of things. You can also do it through looking through the lens of others. In other words, let's say you had issues with a partner or a parent historically sometime in the past, or anybody in fact, but someone you know reasonably well, the way they normally respond to things, react to things, or their personality, you've known them for some time. Then look at exactly the same scene, but through their eyes, through their lenses, as you believe it to be. Using these positions, as I've said, and notice what you notice. You'll notice about the history. In other words, you're looking at the purview based on their history, their disposition, their outlook, their perception, interpretation, belief. And again, once you've done that, note any differences, because what you'll find is that truth is in fact a moving target. That you may see things in a totally different light, and things may lighten up literally for you. You may be able to release and let go and disperse of things that have been hanging around for a long, long time. It also means that both hemispheres of the brain are sharing the same present day wisdom, as opposed to one part of you being stuck in the past and another part being present. It integrates those things and allows you to be fully present again, then being able to respond as opposed to react. I hope you'll do this whole brain integration exercise on numerous things, or anything that is outstanding for you that keeps you stuck in a position or a purview that doesn't work in your best interest. Thanks very much. See you at the next lecture.